Hi everybody, I am from Madhika Software Development in Sri Lanka, a non-profit organization. Our main focus is to make the world a better place where everyone can live in harmony with pride and happiness. You know, an ice cube can be touched and seen. However, when melted down over the course of the time absorbing heat from environment, it turns into vapor, water, and so you can you touch it still and see it? Yes, but can't do if it's vaporized. Into the bargain, if it rains, you can see again as a rainbow in the sky. It reminds me around the double slit experiment. By the way, you would see something only if it's at the stage of low entropy, or else, in another words, at weak nuclear force. Anyway, in the same manner, when you die, your body decomposes and ends up leading to taking in nutrients as chemicals for flora and fauna, besides worms, for them to survive. Moreover, in turn, its energy composes chlorophyll in the leaves of plants by virtue of sunlight rays, ultraviolet rays, cosmic rays, etc. Anyway, it gives free energy to nature, animals, included ourselves. That is the life cycle. Or in terms of Buddhist philosophy, samsara or sasara. So everything begins with nothingness. So no one in the universe, to be specific, a man or woman, a single entity or person, who can feel just sorrow or happiness, attachment or aversiveness. Anyway, all those emotions are constructed in your own mind or in neural circuits, coupled with signals from thalamus and hippocampus, regulated by cervical trunk. Furthermore, signals modulated by hydrogen ions, in other words, protons, which are modulated within microtubules of thalamus and positive baskets in the dentate gyrus of hippocampus. Okay. My dear friends and children, well, for your perusal, I'll put an excerpt from my newest publication, Evolution of Mind of Chemical Mind of Vertebrates. Okay. Electron transport chain is a series of 14 complexes that transfer electrons from electron donors to electron acceptors, where via redox reactions within bracket. Both reduction and oxidation occurring simultaneously, close bracket, and couples this electron transfer with the transfer of protons, that's to say hydrogen ions or proton, across the membrane. The electron transport chain is built up of peptide enzymes and other molecules. The flow of electrons through the electron transport chain is an exergonic process. The energy from the redox reactions creates an electrochemical proton gradient that drives the synthesis of adenosine triphosphate or ATP. In aerobic respiration, the flow of electrons terminates with molecular oxygen being the final electron transport acceptor. In anaerobic respiration, other electron acceptors are used, such as sulfate. In the electron transport chain, the redox reactions are driven by the difference in the Gibbs free energy of reactants and products. The Gibbs free energy can be related to a quantity called the redox potential. The complexes in the electron transport chain harvest the energy of the redox reactions that occur when high energy reactants convert to lower energy products and electrons are transferred from a lower redox potential to a higher redox potential by creating an electrochemical gradient of ions. It is this electrochemical gradient that drives the synthesis of ATP via coupling with oxidative phosphorylation with ATP synthase. In eukaryotic organisms, the electron transport chain and site of oxidative phosphorylation is found on the inner mitochondrial membrane. The energy released by the reaction of oxygen with reduced compounds such as cytochrome C, that's a very vital point, cytochrome C and within bracket indirectly. NADH and FADH is used by the electron transport chain to pump protons into the intermembrane space, generating the electrochemical gradient over the inner mitochondrial membrane. In photosynthetic eukaryotes, the electron transport chain is found on the thylakoid membrane. Here, light energy drives the reduction of components of the electron transport chain and therefore causes subsequent synthesis of ATP. In bacteria, the electron transport chain can vary over species, but it always constitutes a set of redox reactions that are coupled to the synthesis of ATP through the generation of an electrochemical gradient and oxidative phosphorylation to ATP synthase.